All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I call the City Council Committee of the Whole meeting for Wednesday, November 4th, 2020 to order. At this time, we'll have a moment of silence for calm. Thank you. Alderwoman McGinnis, if you'd be kind enough to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Alderwoman McGinnis. Brian, if you'd be kind enough to please call our roll tonight.
Dunn.
Here.
Dorman. McGinnis.
Here.
Lee. Grip.
Here.
Condon. Here. Peacock.
Here.
Dickman.
Here.
Jobjen.
Here.
And Ambrose.
Here.
8 present, Your Honor.
Thank you, Brian. So good evening again as we begin the City Council Committee of the Whole meeting. I'd like to welcome everybody in attendance and those viewing on your mobile devices. Respectfully welcome your comments and opinions. Please keep in mind as you talk to the council, you're sharing your thoughts with fellow Davenporters and folks throughout the region. We're happy you're participating in your city government and ask that your participation please reflect the common desire we all share to make Davenport an even greater place for everyone. If you have your cell phones, if you put them on silent or turn them off so they don't interfere with people in the room. If you wish to address the council on any specific item, especially appearing on the committee agenda, you're encouraged to do so during that particular committee. You also have the opportunity to address the city council and the public with business towards the end. And when addressing the council, I ask you to come to the podium. Please speak to us as a group and then state your business, your name, address, or ward. If you're not from here, we'd love to know where you're from. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes, and we ask that everybody please be respectful, and we'll be respectful for you. Thank you. Ms. Spiegel, City Administrator update this evening.
Just a reminder that Wednesday city facilities will be closed in observation of Veterans Day. So therefore our city council meeting will be next Tuesday evening.
Roger, so just emphasizing City Council next Tuesday. Very good, thank you. So we have 2 public hearings this evening, one under Public Works, one under Finance. So Public Works, Alderman Dunn, if you take that.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have 1 public hearing this evening for Public Works. I open the public hearing on the plan specification, form of contract, and estimated cost for the Elm Street Bridge Replacement Project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this public hearing? Seeing none, I move to close the public hearing. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. This public hearing is closed, and back to you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Dunn. Next public hearing is Finance. Alderman Condon, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. 1 public hearing here in Finance. I hereby open the public hearing on the internal advance to the tax increment fund for administrative costs, wards 2, 6, 7, and 8. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Seeing none, I move to close the public hearing. So motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Sorry.
Aye.
That concludes public hearing, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Condon. Next is Petition Communications. I just have one announcement. Talked about concerning the Heritage Housing and the money that potentially we will receive from that. So I said I'd probably think about having some council folks look at that. So Alderwoman Dickman, Alderwoman McGinnis, and Alderman Dunn have graciously accepted that. So they'll take the council's advisement, the staff's advisement, and make some recommendations to council. So thank you for that. Is there anyone else that has some comments this evening? Alderwoman McGinnis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a couple of things. I do have a November 3rd Ward meeting coming up on Saturday, November 14th. They don't have my topic yet, but we'll get that out this week. It's at 10 a.m. It's going to be here in council chambers. It is limited to 10 people, but it will be also online, and we'll be taking phone calls and all of that during the meeting. So we'll have that set up. So please feel free to join us. I also, and Your Honor, you may be mentioning this, but just remind people that next Wednesday, November 11th, is the Veterans Day Parade. Starts at 10 a.m. and steps off at West 4th Street and Western and goes east and then comes back. So that's happening, and that's an important, day that we remember everybody. So just if you can join us, please do. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman McGinnis. Very good. Veterans Day Parade. Yes, it's a day off, so please come enjoy. Hopefully have nice weather. Anyone else? Seeing no one? Very good. We'll move on to the action items for our 4 areas for discussion. The first one is community development. Alderman Grip will lead that discussion. Alderman Grip.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item number 1 is a motion approving the local objectives for the Community Development Block Grant Program for the year 47 annual action plan covering July 1, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to comment on this item? Anyone from the council? Seeing no one, this item will move on. And that concludes our community development agenda. I would entertain a motion to place this item on the consent agenda. Somebody needs to.
So moved.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That concludes our agenda this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Grip. The second area is public safety. Alderman Ambrose, Alderman Georgian. Alderman Ambrose, please lead that discussion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I open the discussion with the first item being a third consideration, ordinance amending Schedule 1 of Chapter 10.96 entitled Snow Routes by adding and deleting various streets. Anybody from the public? Council? Number 2 is a third consideration, ordinance amending Schedule 5 of Chapter 10.96 entitled Four-Way Stop Intersections by deleting West 6th Street at Vine. Anybody from the public? Council? Number 3 is a first consideration, ordinance amending Section 10.74.050 entitled Muffler Prevention of Noise, Section 9.20.030 entitled Trespassing of the Municipal Code of the City of Davenport. I'd ask our city attorney to briefly explain these.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What's going on here is with mufflers prevention of noise, we consulted with our traffic division, and periodically over the years, there's been a little bit of a confusion at times when we get to trial, whether you have to have both noise and smoke to have a muffler violation. So as far as mufflers are concerned, what we've done is we've made it clear that it's noise or smoke and not both. So that should help in the enforcement of the muffler ordinance. The other one has to do with trespassing, and the state made that a set fine of $200. And we're simply matching up our ordinance with the state's and setting the fine at $200.
So Tom, trespassing, is that private or public property?
It can be either.
So if an establishment has congregating out on the parking lots,
Yeah, if they have people on their private property parking lot, they can ask them to move, and if they refuse to move, the police will remove them.
so, but they have to request that?
Well, they have to, they either need signs that say no trespassing, but generally with a business, what they need to do is tell the people, you need to move. And if they don't respond to that directive, they are trespassing at that point.
All right. Anybody from the public? Council? Number 4 is a resolution approving the following street lane enclosures on the listed date and times to hold outdoor events. The Scott County Family-Wide Turkey Trot, Thursday, November 26th, from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I'm not going to go through the closures. Anybody from the public? Council? Number 5 is a motion following the noise variance events listed on the dates and times: Davenport Park and Recreation, February Holiday Lights, February Learning Center, 1800 West 12th Street, Saturday, November 28th through January 3rd, from 5 p.m. to 10:15 p.m. Outdoor music and 50 dBA. This is in the Great Fourth Ward. Anybody from the public? Council? Will we have the same music, or are they gonna change up the music a little bit and the lights? Because last year it was a tremendous success.
We'll get back to you on that.
Thank you. Number 5 is a motion approving Sarah Mullins, Chris Kindlemart Freight House, 421 West River Drive, Friday, November 4th, 2020, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, December 5th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., outdoor music over DBA. Anybody from the public? Council? That's another great event. So, and number 6 is a motion approving beer and liquor license. Well, I won't review those, but if you want to know more, you can look online on our social media. And I'd ask Alderman Jobgen to set the agenda.
I make a motion all items be placed on the consent agenda.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Or? Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Ambrose. And I just got an update. Mr. Dyson says it's an all-new show with new songs this year. So just got that. So cool. Next area is, to be discussed is Public Works. Alderman Dunn and Alderman Dorman. Alderman Dunn will lead the discussion. Alderman Dunn.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item number 1 is a resolution approving the plan, specification, form of contract, and estimated cost for the Elm Street Bridge replacement project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 2 is a resolution approving the contract for collision avoidance system for transit buses from Roscoe Collision Avoidance Incorporated of Jamaica, New York, in the amount of $194,000. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 3 is a resolution approving the contract for the purchase of wheelchair restraint systems for the transit buses. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 4 is a resolution approving change order number 7 to Venstra and Kim of Moline, Illinois, in the amount of $118,052 for the water pollution control plant optimization project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 5 is a resolution accepting work completed under the CY20 resurfacing contract. The total contract with Nance Incorporated, Eastern Iowa Division, was $501,542.81. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 6 is a resolution awarding the contract for the main library renovation project to Swanson Construction of North Iowa in the amount of $660,480. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 7 is a resolution accepting work completed under the 11th Street reconstruction contract from Wisconsin Avenue to Hidden Valley Drive. The total contract with Tri-City Blacktop is $452,349.96. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 8 is a resolution approving the removal of existing sidewalk located at 2137 Glassbell Street. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 9 is a resolution establishing the fine schedule for construction site erosion and sediment control. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 10 is a motion accepting work completed under the 6th and Vine Traffic Circle project. The total contract with Centennial Contractors of the Quad Cities was $74,283. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 11 is a motion awarding the contract for surveillance system to be installed on transit buses to Angtrex in the amount of $77,444. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 12 is a motion approving a contract for the Water Pollution Control Plant Nutrient Reduction Study to Stranded Associates in the amount not to exceed $60,000. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. And item number 13 is a motion awarding the contract for the fall 2020 demolitions to Johnson Maintenance and Repair of Davenport, Iowa in the amount of $86,500. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. And Alderwoman McGinnis, would you set the agenda for us, please?
I make a motion that all items be put on the consent agenda.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. And that concludes Public Works for this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Dunn. Last area for discussion this evening is finance. Alderman Condon and Alderman Peacock will discuss this. Alderman Condon, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have 5 items on the finance agenda. The first item is a third consideration ordinance amending Chapter 2.82 entitled Management of Public Records. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this will move on. Item number 2 is a first consideration ordinance amending Section 15.08.215 entitled Combined Code Board of Appeals Powers and Duty by amending subsection A. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Anyone from council? Item number 3 is a resolution approving an internal advance to the tax increment fund for administrative costs. Anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Anyone from council?
Alderman Condon, this is Alderman Peacock. Can somebody from staff please explain this again, please?
Certainly.
Mallory, if you're on, do you want to take a cut at that? All right. So I will explain it. So as I explained to the mayor when we talked about this the other day, there are operational services we provide through economic development and community development that we fund out of the North Area TIF. This has been a practice of the city for many, many years, and we find it to be a good practice and utilization of those funds to further our economic development initiatives.
Anything else, Alderman Peacock?
So that was a good way of talking around it, I think, but I'll be answering the question. But so I guess I ask the question more directly: is the way it was worded? It seemed like an advance to staff. Can somebody please speak to that part? I guess that part is just throwing me off. Go ahead.
This is a funding mechanism utilized to fund staff within the Community and Economic Development Department.
So Alderman Peacock, so their salary stays as is. It's just that the funding for part of their salary comes out of the TIF, and it's for work they do related to that TIF area.
Thank you, Tom.
Alderman Ambrose.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tom, we've been doing this a long time. What about marketing? Can you take marketing funds out of, to promote a development or the redevelopment of these areas?
Alderman Ambrose, that's a good question. We haven't looked at that before. We certainly can take a look at that. Thank you.
Yeah, we got to do better in marketing our great city. Thanks, Tom.
Seeing no one else, that item will move on. Item number 4 is a motion awarding the contract to purchase and install a new playground at Tyler Park to Pro Play Recreation of Decatur, Iowa, in the amount of $65,000. Is CIP 64093. Anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Anyone from council? Seeing no one, that item will move on. Item number 5 is a motion authorizing payment to the Quad Cities Chamber for fiscal year 21 public sector investment services in the amount not to exceed $139,485. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Alderman Ambrose.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And this is for Corey. Corey, what do we get for that amount of money from the chamber?
So this is the last year of a 3-year commitment we did with Quad Cities First. As we talked about previously, the chamber dissolved Quad Cities First and rolled that in. Specifically, it's small business support, marketing, and business attraction. As we go into the next year, we will have a continued conversation. I've already started talking with the chamber CEO about, with the change in organizational structure, what does our investment look like? And knowing that they've changed their service delivery model a little bit, how we want to partner together. So it's the same as the past 2 years under Quad Cities First.
All right, thanks.
Seeing no one else, finally we
Corey.
have, sorry?
Corey.
I apologize,
Corey.
Alderman Peacock.
Corey, I just heard what you said to Alderman Ambrose. Did I hear correctly? This will be negotiated later on this year, and there's a possibility there will be no partnership next year. Could you please explain?
So previous council approved a 3-year contract with Quad Cities First that was done in partnership with the other 5 cities and 2 counties. That deal expires June 30th of 2021. And we, as the government liaisons, the city administrators, have already begun talking about what comes next with the chamber, knowing that their organizational structure is also different.
Thank you, Corey.
Seeing no one else, finally I'll list, we have 4 items that are purchases from $10,000 to $50,000. We don't read each of those individually, but they're listed here for your information. Alderman Peacock, would you please set the agenda?
I move that all items be placed on the consent agenda.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that concludes finance. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Condon. Next we have, is there any other ordinances, resolutions, motions? There are none. Is there any public with business this evening? Yes, sir. Please, anyone who is public with business, please step to the podium. Please give your name, ward, or address. And if you're not from here, we'd love you to tell us where you're from, and you'll have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Joseph Charlton. I agree with this about the ordinance, about the mufflers and stuff, and also we should do something about these cars with the loud music coming out. Every time you come down our street, you hear them about half blocked down. Should do something about that. Put that into number 3. Put that on the list. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? Any of the public, please come to the podium, name, ward, or address, and if you're not from here, we'd love to know where you are. 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yoshika Sanhaden. I've spoke a few times. The last time I spoke, I had propositioned the council to have a solution for the abandoned houses in Davenport. I'd just like to commend the council as well as city planning on addressing that. I got to work personally with Mr. Richard Oswald and Nicole Gleason, and they've come up with a plan for a project to get these abandoned houses taken care of. I think, especially speaking for the minority community, these are the exact things that we want to see our local government do. I just want to personally commend everyone that helped out with that, especially Mr. Rich Oswald and Nicole Gleason, and anybody else that's assisted in getting this program up and running. And I think it's going to do great things for the city of Davenport. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Pausing. Okay, very good. Any other reports, Ms. Spiegel? There are none. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good weekend. Be safe.